Hello, FishTankTV.com, YouTube. I'm going to show you how to set up a freshwater aquarium. So you guys out there want to learn how to set up a plant tank. Let's find out. This is my 125-gallon aquarium that I'm showing you. It's not quite done yet, but I'm going to show you step by step, side by side with you, how to set up a plant aquarium. When choosing your ideal place for your aquarium, you want to make sure it's in a location where there's minimum traffic. You're also going to want to make sure that you don't put it beside a window, which is going to increase sunlight into the aquarium, promoting algae growth. So we found a good, reasonable location for the aquarium. When you're setting your aquarium up, you want to make sure it's on a sturdy stand. Or if it's a small tank, you can have it on a dresser, but you're going to want to make sure that your dresser or whatever you can put it on can withstand its weight. In our case, we've used this dresser to put multiple tanks on it. So make sure your dresser aquarium doesn't have any sharp edges, rocks, etc. on it that can punch to the bottom of the glass. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Make sure it's level. Make sure it's sturdy. That wasn't a good example. But anyways, when you find a good location, when it's not near a window or high traffic, now you can see there is a doorway right beside it. But in our case, what I've gone and done is I took a 10-gallon aquarium, which I was going to make a 10-gallon nano reef, but I decided it wasn't worth the trouble. I painted all the sides except for the front black. So we're going to place it onto the dresser. You can see that only the front is viewable. To show that, you can see the dagger in there, but you cannot see on the other side. Every aquarium is going to need a filtration system, so to speak. Not every system if you're advanced and you're expert in your field. But in our case, we're going to put a filter on this tank to make our maintenance a little bit easier. Now I can run a tank without a filter. I've got a 125 and a pond without a filter. They are going to have filters on it, but they've been established for quite some time now. And the nitrates, phosphates, ammonia, every water level parameter is fine. The Aquarium 20 is rated for 20-gallon aquariums. This is double kill right here, and that's even better. So once you've got your filtration system, either underground filtration on the bottom of the tank underneath your substrate, hang on the back, canister, or if you want to go all out with a sump, you're ready to install it. Hang on the back filters, what I love about them, they're easy, they're convenient, and they save space. All you really got to do is once you got your mechanical media in there and stuff, your filter plates, your biological plates, all you really got to do is something simple, and that is hanging on the back. Now, most filters need a priming, and how you would prime a filter is you take some aquarium water out of the tank and just dump it into the filter and prime it. The great thing about Aquariums is they prime themselves. So, once you're ready to go, you want to make a drip loop in your cord. Now, a drip loop is basically a downhill. Water can't go uphill. So if you have a loop like this before it goes into the wall, that water would taper off here instead of saying your power cord down here. The water would just follow the trail right into an electric socket, either killing your fish or making a fire in your house. So once you create a drip loop, you can easily install the filter and turn it on. The next component in your aquarium, that is if you're set up a tropical aquarium. If you set up a cold water aquarium, you're not going to need this. But if you're setting up a tropical aquarium, you're definitely going to need the heater. This is a Tetra heater. I do not recommend you buying a Tetra heater. I've had a Tetra heater overheat on me. The water went to like 90-some degrees, so I do not advise those. I advise Eheim. Eheims are the best heaters in my opinion, and I'm just going to use this for right now, and I will switch over to a better heater. And all I really got to do is suction cup it to the glass. And this one is an automated one to 79.5 degrees, and whenever the temperature drops, it'll heat back up. Next up is your lighting. If you're doing a heavily planted tank, you might need to upgrade your lighting. But for simple fish-only tanks, you can have simple strip lights or any kind of light you want. You don't want to go overboard because of algae problems, but I'm going to do a high-tech planet tank, and this is just an example. This is not the light I'm going to use for this tank, but this is an example. And you can see The next key component in your aquarium is going to be your substrate. Now, me having a plant aquarium and with high-tech tank, high-demanding plants, I'm going to use a good substrate. Now, I don't go out with Eco-Complete or Flourish and all that stuff. You can go for it, Onyx Sand, you name it. You can go for it. If you want to spend the money, go for it. But there's this little site called Fish Tank TV, and we learned if we use DIY dirt, it works just as good, if not better. Now, what I'm using is just plain old Miracle-Gro, because I am going to be dosing a lot of iron, potassium, and other substrate through liquid and powder fertilizers and CO2 injections. So I'm not going to need a high-demanding dirt. This is just regular potting soil. If I was going to tell you to do a dirt, I would say get different bags of dirt and mix them together to make up for what you're lacking. So what you want to do is just take your dirt and pour it in there. Now, you spread it out evenly first. Crumble up any big pieces like this. Spread it out evenly. Once you've gotten your dirt down, you can take this time to get your aquascape down. This is the time you want to get your hardscape in. You want to build your plants around your hardscape. You can use a piece of paper, something flat, to even out your dirt. Now that we've saturated our dirt, it's time to go get some substrate. I'm going to go with the black substrate to keep it black and contrast the greens in here and the colors I'll be getting with the reds and purples and the other plants. The next installment in your aquarium should be the substrate. In my case, I'm using a simple cheap bag called Aquaterra, meaning water and earth. And I don't know how many bags I'm going to need, but I got 3 bags of these, so I think they're about, 5 pounds each. We will see. What I want to do is I want to cap this dirt so the dirt doesn't come up. And I'm getting black gravel, that way it complements the greens and contrasts the colors in the aquarium. Easily, gently pour the gravel. Distribute the gravel among the aquarium evenly. Be sure you're not going to kick up any dirt. Now that we've gotten our substrate evenly distributed into the aquarium, it's time for the moment of truth. We're about to add water. And you can see I made it generally sloped. to make a more 3D realistic background. Taller plants and more high demand and light needed plants will be in the back where higher up is, and more low lighting foreground plants will be in the front. When you're about to put your water in the aquarium, it's kind of hard to make the gravel stay in one place due to the pressure of the water. In this case, we're going to use a plate. And on top of the plate, we're going to use a bowl. Now it is time to pour in our water. At this time, the water is going to be a little cloudy from the dirt. You're going to have to do several water changes. And I mean several water changes before you put any fish or plants in. There'll be such excess nitrogen in the water it will burn the roots and milk the plants. The water is unsafe for fish right now, but we're going to go into the nitrogen cycle as I finish doing this video. And the next part of this video is going to be the nitrogen cycle and how to introduce fish and plants. So stick with me, guys. Hope you like the first part of this series. But join next time to the second part where I show you how to plant plants and introduce fish, including acclimating fish, and how to know what kind of fish to establish inside of your aquarium. So stay tuned to next time. Please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Like it if you want to if you like what you see, and hit me up with a comment or a message if you have any questions. Comment, rate, and subscribe. Later.